Very good evening, all of you. So hope I'm clearly audible. All right. So the session that you're gathered here is to walk you through the guidelines for your phase two of the primary teachers Olympiad that you all have cleared. So congratulations on this outstanding performance in phase one. So definitely your dedication and the way that you have shown the progress is tremendous. And in phase two, what is that we are expecting you to show your innovation is what this session is all about. A few of the queries we have got in the Slido in the application as well in the form. That also I will address. And meanwhile, if you have any other queries, you can also put it in the chat or you can clarify it to me post I walk through the guidelines as well. All right. So this particular guidelines is already been shared with you. I'm going to walk you through stage by stage what is expected in each of your elements, which you need to proceed with the submission as well. Now here in phase two, we are expecting you to submit a very comprehensive lesson plan. Now, in your lesson plan, what exactly is the focus? So, there should be innovation because that's what our major focus is all about. So, the teaching practices that you implement should have innovation in nature. And it focuses on primary teaching. That means for elementary learners. It is recommended you can also create a short video to complement your plan. So that means whatever you have mentioned in your lesson plan, you can record it, not the entire 40-minute session or a 50-minute session that you have given in your lesson plan. That entire 50 minutes we are not asking for. In that 40 minutes, what exactly is the major part of your plan which carries that innovation? That you can record it and you can send it to us. So I'll just break it down, both of them. For each of them, what is the focus, what is the rubric, and all of those, I'll break it down. The first requirement is your lesson plan. Now, here we would need a detailed plan, the provided following. So we also have the format over here mentioned, and which emphasizes more on the creative teaching methods for learners. A video presentation, now, as I already mentioned, only 3 to 5 minutes. See, your 40-minute session, you cannot just wrap it up in a 3 to 5 minute video. That's why I'm saying, which is the major part in your lesson plan, which focuses on that innovative teaching practices, which we want you to give it in that 3 to 5 minute time frame. Make sure it is in this 3 to 5 minutes, not exceeding, not being below the level of 3 minutes as well. So let the range be there between 3 to 5 minutes. So you need to explain and demonstrate the key aspects, which is the highlight of your lesson. Now let us just understand the guidelines, even the rubrics that's been added over here, each at a time. Submission deadline, though it's mentioned 26th July, submission has been postponed. I'll share the submission date towards the end. Once I wrap up, I'll share the exact submission date as well. Okay. Now, what is that we have gathered here for? Anyone actually can create a lesson plan and you can implement it, but what makes you all stand out and what makes you to be the topmost in it will be the innovative approach that you're going to give us in the lesson plan. So this is the stage for you to showcase your unique teaching strategies and also your competency as well. And this is for your phase two. So let's talk about this lesson plan submission guidelines. Now, there are different pointers that's mentioned as well. I'll break that into simpler ways that you can note it down, or even if this document is with all of you. So you can follow the instruction which is mentioned over here as well. You can, the pointers are here, but it doesn't mean that you have to stick rigorously to this particular ones. You can also add more pointers to showcase your uniqueness or even your innovative practices as well. The first thing we want to see is the subject, grade level, and the topic. This is the first thing that we want to see. In any case, do not miss this. The first point itself clearly highlights which subject you're teaching, the grade level, and even the topic should be mentioned. And next comes the lesson objectives. The objectives should be very clear. It should have measurable goals in it. So, if you're able to show us the success criteria, then also it's well and great. So, we are able to clearly see what is that you expect as a student outcome from your objectives as well. So, make sure it is clear which shows the measurable goals as well. Define your classroom environment. So, in your lesson plan itself, as a passage or maybe as in the form of a table, you can actually mention which talks about your classroom visibility. Now, which grade level? So, you have already mentioned. Now, in this case, the number of students that you have in that particular class. So, mention that. How is the arrangement has been made, the seating arrangement? So let's say you're planning for an active learning strategy where the seating arrangements are different. You can actually add in a picture as well, or you can just describe your seating arrangement also. Is it going to be individual desks or groups? Even if it is groups, what kind of groups are you working it out? You can actually show it to us. List out all the different resources that you're going to use. So for explaining the concept, maybe you created a presentation or you have a video that you are showing it out. So each and every resource that you are actually using, try to list it down. So that's again very important. So try to show, attach those resources as hyperlinks, making sure the settings are anyone with a link can view it. So because you will be having reviewers who is going to review your lesson plan and decide the winners. So in that case, anyone who is opening the link should be able to view the resources. So try to have all of your technological resources with respect to that. If it maybe if you're using still a physical resource, then also completely fine. Mention what all the resources that you have used. If at all it's a digital resource, add those hyperlinks. Now this is a sample. So number of students, the seating arrangement, and resources available. Now let's say seating arrangement, you have made it as a group or you have done it in a different format. If you're able to take a picture, attach it to it, that's well and great. So you're showing us how the classroom looks like during your teaching practices. That's the third point. The next about your content. So once you have described the initial phases, the next comes what exactly is your main concept and the topic that you are trying to teach. So describe your entire content. Let it not be just a descriptive level. Make it more analytical in a way that when a reviewer is just reading the plan, they should be able to understand what is that you're trying to do over here in this phase. So try to briefly explain or talk about your main concept and topic that you're covering in the lesson. One innovative practice should definitely be there. At least one we are talking about, but more than one also is more than welcome. Details, so give as much details about what type of innovative technique that you're using in that particular lesson. Now, when we say innovative teaching practices, it has to be student-centered. So keeping in mind the technique or the innovative practices that you're going to implement brings out student engagement and also brings out the learning outcomes that you have planned for. So think about what kind of unique strategies that you want to apply and describe in detail how you are going to integrate it when you're teaching the lesson, so that the active participation or maybe the critical thinking or even the how the concept is explained is also taken in nature. So you're able, so as let's say I am reviewing your document, the lesson plan. Just by reading your lesson plan, I should be able to visualize how you have done it as well. So that much of detail, clarity should be there in your writing itself. So we are not just asking what technique you're using, but also we need you to explain the technique in a way how this is bringing an impact for your learners. So how the students are engaged when you're applying this technique, what kind of active learning strategy is happening over here. And if there is differentiation done, then also talk about it. So a very, very deeper comprehension is needed when you're talking about that innovative teaching practice. The same applies for assessment as well. So what are the different types of assessment you have used? Different formative assessments you have tried. So is it kind of like a worksheet, or is it kind of like an exit ticket? So what kind of FA are you using? So specify the method, which tool you are using, also mention, and if you're able to show us the progress where your student have performed and how they have performed, that would be a great addition itself. Again, because that is an evidence. So you have done something innovatively and which has shown a progress in your students' learning, then that is a great evidence to make you stand out. So try to write down or specify what assessment you're using and what is the tool that you're taking to assess the students for this, and also show us an evidence how you are describing the progress in your learners as well. So describe how the feedback will be provided. So like as I mentioned, if you're using it digitally, let's say like a digital exit ticket or maybe any other tool for that matter, so a ziplet or a padlet, so whichever medium you're using, provide us the links with the learner's responses. That's more important. We don't want a blank one. Kindly make sure you're able to provide us with the students' responses as well. Adaptability. Now here comes the differentiation. So how this particular lesson also caters to different learning styles and abilities as well. So your lesson plan should also have a part where differentiation is talked about. So, in that case, how can it be done? So, you might have different types of learners in your classroom. So, for them, how are you catering to them? So, have you addressed those? So, this is also one such criteria that will be taken into consideration when grading your report as well. So, is there inclusivity? Is there effective learning for all my students? So, what kind of adaptability is implemented is something that you need to note it down and show us exactly that. Now, again, even for differentiation, if you're trying out a technique, you're trying out a tool, describe the tool and how it is bringing an impact as well. Description alone will not help. As much details as you can provide to show the evidence how it has changed or given an effect will help us evaluate better. Now, this is the scoring guide. So you all have the rubric also in your hand, which will help you in understanding how to plan your lesson as well. Now, as you see here, we have different criterias for which the grading points are also mentioned in this case, as you can see. So starting with the objective, that means how clearly you're able to state the subject, the grade, the topic, the learning outcomes in terms of measurable outcomes as well, and which is aligning to your entire classroom environment. So if it is for grade 4, then accordingly for grade 4, how it is well aligned. So that's how you need to bring it up. So for objectives, these are the evaluative rubric grade that you're able to see. Now, if I'm talking about content for that matter, just give me a second. So, content, if we see, the outline should be well structured. Now, if you're able to show us as a well structured outline in a way that, let's say, this is the hook. So, the first 5 minutes, I'm just starting with the hook. And the next 10 minutes, let's say, you're having a quick prior knowledge FA. And then the next 15 to 20 minutes is a teacher explanation. And then next 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it's a group activity. So, if you're able to show us the content in a well-structured outline, it will be amazing. So we are able to understand it very clearly how engaging your classroom can be. Rather than as just a passage, if you're able to break it down with different highlights of what that content is, of how you're conducting the lesson, it would be great. Now, that's not mandatory because we are leaving it to you how you want to provide the content. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying you have to follow the method that I am saying it. I'm just giving an example. So this is one structure. Now you can follow your own methodology, your own structure, what you follow in your school. That is also fine. And this is one of the question that was asked by someone in the Slido as well. Can we use our school's lesson plan template? You can use this, no restriction as of such, but what we want is already given over here. So show us that if in that particular lesson plan you can implement all of this, then definitely that's fine to have your own lesson plan as well. Right. And then the innovative teaching practices. So once we are able to see your content, we should be able to see the innovative teaching practices as well. Specify what teaching practice it is, how it is integrated in your lesson plan, and how it enhances the learning. That means the student outcome as well. So you're not just going to describe it, but you're going to explain in detail how this is bringing an impact for your students. And then comes the assessment. So assessment, again, the same structure. So detailed description of the different methods and again, how this is giving an impact as well. Why did you choose this assessment method? How is this giving an impact for your students? So every method, when you're talking about it, make sure you're answering these two. Why you have chosen this and how it has brought an effect. So these are two things that you have to answer for every key elements over here. The same comes with adaptability also. So where if you're able to cover the various learning styles of your students, difference how for each of them, what types of strategies that you are working on, what is your plan for that? So try to show that as well. Finally, it's application time. That means implementable stage. So where you're actually showing us the well-developed practical and realistic plan, which can be implemented in a classroom. See, think about this. Any stranger who is coming to read your lesson plan should have no questions asked. It's ready to implement in a classroom, a ready classroom. So that's how visible it should be. So by reading the lesson plan, there should not be having any questions how to do this. What should I do with this? So no questions asked, ready to implement in the classroom kind of plan is what we are expecting. So just by reading your plan, is it implementable? So that is also taken into a grading structure for you. So when we are reading it, we should see that how it is being taught or how it is being done. This is for the lesson plan as of now. That's a 40-minute or 50-minute lesson plan as how you practice in your school. That's up to you. So, but we would recommend just don't go lesser than 30 minutes. So I would recommend go for 40 to 50 minutes. That's a valid lesson plan for that matter. Do not even go lesser than that as well. Next comes the video submission guideline. So this is, there are two parts in your submission. One is lesson plan and the other one is video submission. Now, in this case, keep in mind, video is not an optional one. Both of them will be evaluated for your final review, final grade. So 3 to 5 minute video to accompany your lesson plan. Now, in this case, again, in Slido, we had a question. Schools don't allow us to record. So how do we do this? So you can do it as an online recording as well. So consider you have a classroom in front of you. You can teach it in an online mode. That is also fine. Or if your school allows you to record only you when teaching it, that is also completely fine. So this is one way of how you can create a video. In that 3-minute video, 3 to 5 minute video, these are all the things that needs to be included. Excuse me. The first start with introduction. Introduce yourself, your background, the subject that you're teaching, the grade level, and the topic that you're going to cover today. along with the learning objectives. For the first point, do not take more than 20 seconds, because here every minute adds more value to explain or talk about the innovative practice. So make sure that you're able to just wind it up within that time frame. So you can actually break it down. So introduction, I'm just going to spend only 30 seconds, not even a minute, because that's a lot actually. So 30 seconds, how much you can tell about yourself. And at the end of the 30th minute, or let's say 35 minutes, 30 seconds. So 30 to 35 seconds, you're talking about the topic and the learning objectives of your lesson, which you have mentioned in the lesson plan. Do not read from it, rather try to describe it in your own terms. So that would sound natural, and that would bring in a lot of connectivity for what you're trying to say. Be as innovative as possible. Now, with plenty of tools that you have, you can create videos in a way that we are not asking about videos that are created using AI. No, do not do that. That will be declined on the first go itself. So don't create videos from AI and submit to us. We don't want an AI video. We want you being there. Camera should be on. So we should see your face. So make sure that you are staying with the camera on when you're recording the session. Right. So this is the initial setting. And then the next, you're walk through the lesson. So here there are a few tools that we are mentioning. You can use your own device screen recording tool, or you can use Screencastify. Even Zoom you can actually do. So start a session in Zoom and then record and you're teaching it. Or there is Loom as well. So these are all recording tools which you can record for teaching. Which captures your screen and face together. So Zoom is a very simple and easy choice. Now, what should you be doing at the second point? You need to highlight the key points of the lesson and demonstrate the innovative teaching practices. So immediately, we don't want too much of elaboration or a story that you're working us step by step for that entire 40 minutes. No, a quick and a very short summary of what is the key highlight of your lesson, and what innovative teaching practices are you going to use here. So these are the key elements that we expect you to say. And then if we talk about engagement, you can use different, like as I mentioned, so you can, once you record your video, even in Zoom, you can use other tools like Canva for video editing, where you can bring in all of those characters inside it. You can add in elements to enhance your video with so much of graphics, on-screen text coming up, which will just make it more appealing and more engaging as well. So rather than just you entirely talking, let's say you're explaining something and that can be on the backdrop of the screen coming down. So that is what on-screen text can come up. So these kinds of innovation can be added in your videos as well. Speak very clearly, and will a sample video be shared? No, we don't. We don't have any sample video in that case. I can check with the team, and if there are there, they might share it with you in the WhatsApp groups. Enhance the video with, speak clearly and ensure the video has good visual and audio quality. This is very important again. Make sure your voice is very clear for us to understand. There are no background sounds as such. The visual is also very clear and appealing as well. So make sure this is also very well enough planned and executed. When you're concluding it, so when you're towards the ending of it, summarize the main key takeaways from the lesson. And also, what kind of impact it has created by implementing the innovative teaching practices. This is very important. So your conclusion should summarize along with talking about the impact it has created as well. So this is again a very important point with respect to that. Now here we talk about the rubrics again. So starting with introduction. So where it talks about, just a moment. So starting with introduction in a way that you're having your camera on, so very clear screen, no other background noises or anything. These are all the first steps that we will be definitely looking into. And once this is, you are clearly visible, your voice is very clear, we move on to the next thing. So the introduction part. So how are you able to give an introduction about yourself and the concept, along with the background of who you are, the grade and topic that you're going to cover with the objectives. That's the first rubric criteria. And the second one is a lesson walkthrough. So your main key highlights of the lesson and what innovative teaching practice you're trying to implement. Engagement. So how you're connecting it with various engaging medias like different images or different even clippings added. So if at all that could be done, that would again be referred to as an innovative practice as well. So where you are able to give us a clear demonstration of what you're trying to do. Keep it as engaging as possible throughout. So scene by scene, you're recording and you're blending it together. That is also fine. And those can have inline text and some pop-ups coming out. So these kinds of engaging use cases can be implemented in your video. And clarity is something will be paid more attention to. If we are not able to hear you very clearly, or maybe it's not understandable. Maybe halfway it was good enough, but the second half, there was so much of background noises, then also you might lose points. As in that case, we might not be able to hear or understand anything in detail. And then if we talk about conclusion, so summarizing and also reinforcing the innovative teaching practices. Though you're talking about the practices even at the top, elaborating it, here a quick summary is also necessary for the same. Remember, both lesson plan and the video is taken for reviewing. This should reflect your innovative practice for the primary education when you are actually giving us it. So both are equally important. So based on both the scores only, we will be summarizing the final review for the entire feedback of phase 2. Next comes the submission pattern. So how you need to submit it. We've already shared a form, so the form will be circulated again to you. So in that particular form, you need to just click, you need to fill in your initial details. So let me see if I have the form right. Right. So this is the exact form that you all have. And what you need to submit, again, it is entirely given step by step. So I'll quickly walk you through how you need to fill the form as well. So starting with your email address. So enter your email address, your full name, and your mobile number. And what is your role? And your name, total years of experience, your city, country. Now you have to upload your photo. So these are mandatory questions. So definitely you need to add in a picture. So I'm just randomly adding something over here as of now. Right. The next set of things, which will be all about your certificate. The certificate is nothing but your phase 1 certificate, which you have received from Up Educators. So you all have that. Try to upload it in the format of PDF or as an image. So again, you need to click on file, upload the PDF file of the certificate that you received from Up Educators for the phase 1. So this will also be checked, referred, and then only we will be checking it out. So I'm just again randomly fixing it up. And next question, the lesson plan link. Now, you might have created your lesson plan in a Microsoft Word document or as a Google document as well. Either ways, it's completely fine. Now, if at all it was a Google Doc, let's say, And there you have completed your lesson plan. You can just click on share. I'll just show a random doc over here. Now this is a completely blank document. Now, if at all you have not at all started a lesson plan, then you can just go ahead and create a lesson plan in a new blank document. Now, once you have completed the document, you need to submit it over here in the form. So for submission, we need to have the link of your lesson plan. So you need to just come to share, take away, come to the restricted tab, click on anyone with a link. Leave it as viewer only. We don't want anyone to edit your document. So leave it to viewer. Copy the link and come back to this space, paste the link. This is one way. Now, let's say you have done it as a Microsoft Word, an offline version of it. Then in that case, what would be the choice? You need to first attach it in your Google Drive. So open a Chrome browser. From there, reach your Drive folder. So these are all the Drive folders. There, click on New option and you'll see Files Upload. So which takes you to your local Drive storage. Now from there, attach your maybe it could be even in the form of PDF or a Google Doc, or it could be anything. That's completely fine. Attach the file into your Google Drive. Now it's already attached. So this is the file that I have attached, so which is something that I can find even in my Drive. Now, once it is added in my Drive, okay. So let's see. There were so many files in mine, so I'm not able to locate it correctly. Right. So this is the doc that I attached right now. I'll come to this particular 3 dots beside it. Again, I'll see an option share. I'll click on share and make sure the settings is in a shareable format. It's not restricted. All right, so currently it is restricted. So again, I'll do the same steps. Anyone with a link and make sure it is viewer, copy the link, come back to your form and paste the link over here. So 2 ways. One is that you can directly do it in a Google Doc and it would be easier to share. Even if not, if you prefer working offline, like in a Microsoft Word, and then you are attaching it, that is also completely fine. And video link, again, the same format. Now, most probably it would be in a downloaded format in your device. So come to your Drive folder, attach the video over here, get the link, make sure the share settings is enabled, and then paste that link over here. Both of them are very important for attachment. So make sure you have added both the video link and the lesson plan link. So video link is again the same format. First, from your local drive, from your computer, just transfer it to Google Drive. And from Google Drive, just create the link, change the share settings, anyone with a link viewer, and then copy the link, paste it in the video link form here. And then next, that's the last question. And here it is again, making sure you have done all of this. So there is a checklist given. So have you uploaded your photo, certificate, lesson plan, video? So have you addressed all of this? If yes, then you can click on submit. So that's it. So this is the submission guidelines for your phase 2 of it. Right. So here is a submission link. It is in the same guidelines form, which you all have it in your hand. Now, the submission deadline, you can note it down. It's going to be 9th August. 9th of August is the final submission. The same will be sent to the group as well. So you have time for working on all of these things. So I'm just sharing the 9th of submission date again in the chat. Now there are frequently asked questions, which I'm trying to cover it over here. This particular question has been asked or has been asked at all times. Like it's a 45-50 minute session. Now, how can we wrap it up in a 5-minute video? That's definitely a challenge. I completely agree to that. But again, as I repeatedly say, do not talk about the other things majorly. That's why we have given you the exact pointers what you want to speak. So you need to cover the highlights of the lesson. That is the first thing that you need to go. So you need to, just a moment, sorry. You need to talk about only the main key highlights. In this case, I would suggest, after you describe the learning outcomes, suggest which innovative teaching practice you have implemented in the lesson and how you have done that. So talk about it. That would be great. So is there a specific template to follow for the lesson plan? No, there is no specific template. You can follow your school's template as well. Or you can create your own template format as well. So there are plenty of templates. It's available. You can check it in Canva. You can check it in Google Docs or even in Microsoft Words. So if you search for lesson plan templates, you will get plenty of different templates as well. So what we want to see is that there should be clear structure in it. It should be clearly organized as well. Can I show students in my video? Again, it's not mandatory. If you can, it's well and great, but it's not mandatory. Or in other cases, you can demonstrate your video. So that's what we want. Demonstrate your activities or the strategies that you're applying. So that is what we majorly want you to do in this. How detailed should the assessment section should be? We want an overview of what is exactly your assessment all about. So include both the formative and summative assessment strategies if applicable. For example, I'm saying maybe you're just trying to start your lesson with initiating a prior knowledge. So you can implement a KWL. So that's a formative assessment. Once you're closing the session, you can end it with an exit ticket. So that's again an assessment that you're trying to do. So show us different assessments and how it is helping you for this particular lesson is something that you need to talk about. Can you use presentation software in your video? Yes, you can use presentation softwares like slides, and even other visual aids like bringing in Canva elements to enhance your explanation. You can do many different things, but make sure that you stay on camera the entire 3 to 5 minutes you're speaking and you're able to connect with your learners as well and the audience who is going to see your video. Do I need to record myself on camera for the video or only screen recording? No, it is mandatory to have yourself visible on the camera because then only we'll be able to understand that's you who are doing it. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that how you're able to connect with your learners is something that we can also understand by seeing the video. So that brings me to the end of the session. So any questions you still have, you can quickly clarify the same. Meanwhile, I'm checking the chat as well. Submission link. So I believe you all have the guidelines PDF. So there the submission link is already attached. In lesson plan, do we need to mention the allotted time for everything? Yes, you have to. You have to. So make your lesson plan as detailed as possible. So that's what I told you. The first 5 minutes of your class can be like greeting and sharing the lesson objectives. The second 10 minutes can be talking about maybe initiating a prior knowledge of the class. So give a clear structure so we are able to understand it better. If it's a real-time classroom while doing activity, we can show the children. If your school allows, then definitely we are okay with that. The point of time I won't be visible. Maybe let's say you're just showing the students when they are doing an activity, not when you're teaching. So if you're teaching and explaining, we want to see you. And if at all they are doing something what you have given, then the focus can be on them. That's fine. All right. Any other questions? I had few questions in the Slido as well. So let me open that. I'm just trying to quickly open the Slido so I can answer the same. The first question, I think it's from Namni. So where should the lesson plan be handwritten or typed, and how many pages should be? First, I'll answer this question. No, the lesson plan need not be handwritten. It is completely typed out. A digital lesson plan is what we are asking out. Maybe in the form of a Google Doc or a Canva doc or a Microsoft Word, anything completely fine. There's no limitation of page, but again, we don't want like a 10-page lesson plan. It's not a story that we are having. It's a lesson plan. For a 40 to 45-minute lesson, just give us how much it can be. And make sure if you're giving a lesson plan, the reviewers are going to see whatever you're writing, is it implementable in that 40-45-minute time frame? So you cannot have a 2-day lesson plan and making us think that this can be implementable in a 45-minute session. No, because if it is implementable or not is something there in your rubric criteria. So make sure it stays as much as it onto the time frame. Can I make a video without kids? So this I think I've already addressed. Your kids need not be visible, but we want to see you conducting the class and what is that you are able to explain it. That's what we want to see. I want to know whether I can submit in my own school lesson plan format. I have answered this. Yes, you can. Um, if your school allows for the same, then it's completely fine. And make sure the clarity is there entirely throughout. Can I use other languages Hindi in 3 to 4 minute video? I'm so sorry. We request you to share the video in English only. Can we teach using PowerPoint slides? Yes, you can use PowerPoint slides for the respective content. Again, Shweta, I think I've answered the question. You can submit the plan in your school format. The video be shot at home or school only. I think again, if you're implementing in your school, then we want where you're implementing it. Or if you're going to record yourself, assuming you're teaching it to the students, then it's completely fine. Up to you how you want to proceed it. 5-minute intro about the lesson plan parts. Enough 5 minute? No, I think right now I have explained in detail what your video should be. So this should have given you the clarity. Submission form link, I'll share it again in the chat. Okay. So please do check your mails there. Uh, you would have received this guideline document, which I exactly showed you all. So just check your mails, because in your mail, along with what is that you have to do and how is that you have to do everything, is mentioned clearly along with this guidelines PDF as well. But still, I'll just open the submission link and I'll just share it with you all here in the chat as well. Yeah. So I've sent a form which is nothing but the submission guidelines link. Sorry, the submission link only. All right. Any other questions? All right, if there aren't any questions, I think we can wind up. Thank you so much. Hope the session had given a clarity for your phase 2. All the best, and looking forward to see each of your creations as well. Thank you so much. Yes, you will get the recording. All right. Thank you and have a great evening.